Support for the Lancast is provided by Winey Way Books and Pennsylvania College of Art and Design.
Welcome to the Lancast. I'm David Moulton.
And I'm Keith Slesser. Unfortunately, our guest was unable to make it this week, so instead we had an impromptu visit with our photographer, Quin Baker.
And Quin, you've been with us for a little bit now, and we greatly enjoy your work and your time that you put into helping us have really nice, professional-looking photos on the website. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what goes into your photos?
Well, I'm inspired by Neil Young. He's my favorite artist. I listen to a lot of his music when I'm editing. I like fast cars. Call them trouble. Graffiti. I like 80s music. Music inspires me a lot. I like faces. I like taking portraits, really close-up shots, and trying to get to know people before I actually photograph them to get a picture that's good for them. So I do a lot of research and creeping and stalking on clients. I'm creepy.
Well, we're glad to have you on the team, and we're happy to introduce you to our audience officially here with your voice and some of the current events that we're talking about.
Cool beans.
So we hope everyone enjoys the conversation for this little bit of a different kind of an episode. We do one of these about every 10 weeks or so, and it's just catch you up on some of the things going on, some of the stuff that we're thinking about. So crew, the big news right now is that it's raining.
Forever.
Forever, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like evacuating parts of the county.
Are they really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I started building my ark.
Should have gotten a head start on that.
You're a little late. Unless it's a one person art. I just bought a kayak. It was cheaper.
I have an inflatable raft.
Whatever floats your boat.
That's good. I like that one. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, I saw some pictures from Hershey, and there's a Pizza Hut that the water was all the way up to the ceiling. It was great. Not inside the building. We're outside, and then you see the roof of the building.
The weird shaped Pizza Hut
Yeah,
roof.
and the water is almost completely submerged the building.
Where is
it was
this?
a flat
Hershey?
roof. Yeah, in Hershey.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Maybe we'll stick that photo in the show notes if I can find it again.
Wonder what how Chocolate World's doing.
Well, I don't know if all of Hershey's funny. This particular area of Hershey is under. I also saw some pictures from Knoebels that looked awesome because the buildings were half submerged, and I thought, man, what if you were on the log ride and then you came down into that half submerged world and just kept going?
Yeah, you would think the log ride or the rapid. One of the where you're in a boat would be the safest place to be at one of these because if it does flood too much, you can just keep going.
Now that's getting your money out of that ride.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we get to live.
So other things that have been happening ecologically is we just recently had an earthquake
last week.
Yeah.
And a hurricane.
We're
getting pumped and ready for 2012.
Yeah, it's the end of the world, 2012.
That's true. Now, what was your earthquake experience, Quin?
I was on a rolly chair. End of story. And I was in an apartment building, so it was extra wavy and.
So you felt it for sure, definitely.
Yeah. I thought that I was going insane. I thought I was having a seizure.
Yeah. I thought I was, I have problems with vertigo from time, and I thought I was just having a vertigo until the shot. I was I was at the hospital standing in, I work at the hospital, so everyone, I was at the hospital, I was in one of the storage rooms and I thought I was having a vertigo. Actually, what I did, I heard a tapping sound when it first started and I thought is there an animal or something in here? Cause I thought there was, I was that's kind of creepy. And then the whole rack started shaking and I thought if that's an animal, I'm getting out of here because that's a very big animal. And then I felt it and I was like, whoa, I think we just had an earthquake.
Yeah, I was sitting at my desk at work, and I thought that I was just dizzy, too. and then I realized that my desk was banging against my leg. I'm like, well, no, this is everything else is shaking. And I'm the only one in the office whose desk isn't up against a wall or like a cubicle wall or any other thing. So my desk was like really shaking.
Wow.
And it was pretty crazy.
Did you duck and get under it? And
Yeah, I did actually, what I did do is I just got out lighter fluid and lit fire to the place. I was like, it's done.
it's the end of the world. Armageddon.
And you hopped on Facebook
Yeah.
like everyone else.
I was like,
I was gonna post it on Facebook, and I thought like, I'm pretty sure that like probably 5,000 people just posted, I think we just had an earthquake. So I thought I'd skip it and just let everybody else have their fun.
That was nice of you.
It was very nice. I stood back and let somebody else have the spotlight for
I
once in
love the
Lancaster.
pictures that were going viral of chairs knocked down.
Yeah.
We will, and it said like we will rebuild at the bottom. That was great. Let's get into the deep, hard-pressing issues of what's going on right now. Something that just came out today is that Taco Bell is going to start allowing food stamps as payment.
Oh man.
What do you think, Quinn?
Wow.
Sounds legit. Can you buy
Can I get some food
ice?
stamps? Because I like
ice with food stamps?
Yeah.
You can buy ice with food stamps.
Is ice considered food?
It's water.
I don't know. It's water.
In like
It's consumable.
a solid form.
It's non-taxable. What are the requirements for that?
I have no
Ice
idea.
or food stamps?
Food stamp for ice. What are the requirements for ice? Minus 3 degrees.
I think 32 degrees.
Okay. All right.
What requirements for food stamps?
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with your income level.
No. Not why do you get them?
Oh.
What can you buy with them?
Oh. Well, see, go ahead.
I think it's just food.
Yeah. Is it just, is it any food? Because if it's any food, you could buy ice.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I've always had.
I mean, food at a grocery store.
So I never got like the regular food stamps. I got like WIC. Like when Lauren had the babies and stuff, we got WIC, and that like had specific. You got checks, and the checks said you had to know what grocery store you were going to purchase it at, and then it gave specifically on the check. It was actually written on like 1 gallon of milk, 1 thing of cheese. You know, it had to be all like a pound of cheese, all this stuff. So it was like specific items, so you couldn't just buy it. Anything,
candy.
Yeah, you couldn't just go in there and buy anything with it. But I don't know how food stamps work because I've never done that. But I think you can purchase as long as the restaurant or the store, the vendor that you're purchasing from accepts them. I think you can buy. Because I remember hearing stories about people buying cigarettes with their.
Oh, really?
With their food stamps, or maybe that was down after the hurricanes or something like that. Somebody was buying it, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Taco Bell. A lot of.
I have to correct myself. It's not official yet.
Oh.
But they're lobbying for it. It's something they're pushing really hard. They announced today that they want to get through. And it wouldn't just be Taco Bell. It'd be KFC, Long John Silver's, and Pizza Hut. They're all owned by the same conglomerate or whatever.
So basically a lot of fatty, greasy food for free.
Yeah, for free. So on one hand, I guess it would be nice if they gave it to homeless people. Because who can't cook? They can go to a restaurant, get some food. But
that's true.
Then the anti-obesity people are like, well, this isn't really.
Well, if you're homeless, you're probably not going to get obese.
Well, but still.
Yeah. Well, even now, I think food stamps. I don't know if it's true. I've heard before that when someone goes on food stamps, that they pretty much gain like a certain amount of weight right away because food stamps are geared to get you the most calories for the cheapest amount of money. And the cheapest food out there is the food that's worst for you. That's the worst for you. Like it's just, the non-organic, heavily processed stuff is what is cheap. And so that's what a lot of corn products.
Did you hear that? This is so last week too, but Steve Jobs retired.
Retired from Apple.
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Stepped down.
Who wear black t-shirt and jean company is going to get to wear their clothing?
Me?
Oh, Apple.
You? Yeah, I guess you are wearing that.
Yeah, you're wearing black shirt and jeans. Wow.
Here's what I was reading is that the CEO that's stepping up, or whoever the guy, CFO, or whatever the guy is underneath him, who's taking his place, is the same guy that's been taking his place whenever Steve has been sick or on leave or anything. So it's not like they're just throwing in some rookie there. I mean, here's a guy who successfully continued to run the company for months on end, minus Steve Jobs hanging out. So that's kind of, I mean, that's gives me a little faith in the company. It's not going to go under or die or anything.
Yeah.
How do you
Someone
feel?
who knows what's going on. I'm not really a big fan of Apple.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of like a Nazi corporation.
Is it? Or are you too cool for Apple? Is that the
Yeah, I'm
problem?
just too cool. I'm like hipster.
She's way hipster.
I thought the hipsters
I
were the
use
ones that
Linux.
used apples.
Well, no, because apples are cool, so they'd be the ones who don't use
Well,
them.
now they are cool.
Yeah.
I used
They didn't used to be cool.
Apple products before it was cool to use Apple products.
So see, you are a hipster.
Yeah.
She
So
had
now it's cool to use Apple products, so now she went to
what are you,
some
Windows,
other
Linux?
I use Linux, actually.
Really?
Why would you
Yeah.
use Linux?
Because it's not by choice. I don't really understand it that much. I want Windows. I like Windows. I can look through them and see my future.
So along the lines of things going on with major switches with Apple, the biggest competitor for them with phones are like the Android phone system. And one of the companies that makes them is Motorola. And recently, for $12.5 billion, Google
whiz.
acquired Motorola Mobility. This is going to be big. Like, Google's been saying, okay, you know, it's fine. We're not going to make this exclusive or anything, but it's now they're going to be able to make their phone system so much more fit to this phone. And then they're going to be like, well, you don't have one of our phones. You can't get the Google stuff. Sure, other people can put stuff on it, but it's not going to be Google, like, compatible or whatever.
So do you think they'll take away the Google app for the iPhone?
No, I don't think they'll ever do that because it's a huge, like,
Yeah, it's probably
draw in
Yeah.
for, I mean, to get people not using their stuff to get them on their things. So, I mean, I don't know if this means anything to you, Quinn, but if to me, it's just interesting. My iPhone is rather old and it's time to get a new one. And I'm thinking, do I want to get another iPhone? Because this one crapped out so bad after 2 years. I mean, it works, but it's just the software is so out of date and all that stuff. The Android phones look great. Like, I've been hearing some great things about them now. But I don't know what to do.
I have Sprint, and I heard that Sprint is getting the iPhone this fall.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm thinking about getting an iPhone. I don't know.
If I ever go with the smartphone or intelligent phone, I probably will just go with an iPhone, simply because all of my stuff is, all of my music, all of everything I do is integrated on iTunes and with iTunes, and to, you know, it's more the simplicity, the ease of doing it for me. I know there's other places you can get music, there's other things but everything is so integrated on iTunes, and I'm so not tech savvy with the computers. I've tried putting my music on other other MP3 players, even on a PC computer, and I've just ran into all kinds of problems, and I have trouble getting it to sync up right, and I'm a real fan of, I'm like obsessive compulsive about the cover art being on all of mine. And I have a real hard time getting that with anything. So, you know, regardless of unless they create another phone that is as compatible and as easy to use with like iTunes, which I don't know that they ever will, because,
Yeah.
you know, Apple pretty much holds, you know, that by that world. So, you know, that's the only thing that saved Apple for me. I had Apple computers. I always liked Apple computers, but nowadays pretty much a PC can do just about anything an Apple can do, and they're like half the price.
Yeah.
And so the only thing that is saving Apple, as far as I'm concerned, for me to still buy any Apple products, is the iPod, because it's still the best MP3 player out there, I think, and the best, most versatile, most, just user friendly, in my opinion. But as far as like, I like the Apple computers better. They're more user friendly, but they're just not, they're not $2,000 more, better.
What do you think about 3D phones? I know Sprint just came out with the HTC Evo 3D. I guess it's kind of pointless. Yeah.
Why would you need a 3D
I
phone?
don't know. It takes 3D videos. And
Wow. I did 3D videos.
3D,
You know, we're making fun of this now. Like, oh, who would ever want that? And like 10 years from now, everybody's going to be like making 3D.
Why would you have
we're not even going to be
3D?
here.
It's
We're
like-
going
it's
to
like,
be here in like
Oh my God, I
holograms.
can't believe that that we ever lived without this.
How did we not have? I wonder about the 3D fad. Is it gonna become a standard of everyone's house, or is it just going to become just a crazy?
Or is it like
thing?
the 50s, you know? Or
Is
it's
it like
just
is it the
fact-
Laserdisc or is it the DVD?
Right.
Is it going to be where only some people have it, or is it going to be where everyone has it eventually?
It all has to do with the marketing.
That's so true. It all has to do.
Has
with
nothing to
marketing.
do with quality of the product. It all has to do
Well,
with
it's
the marketing.
it's showing up everywhere, and that's one thing that can keep it around. Is if it becomes a standard, even if it's crappy.
There's a lot of
it's a
people that
standard.
hate 3D though.
That's true.
Like I have a friend that can't watch. He gets headaches every time he
Yeah, I
watches
get
3D.
headaches.
He cannot
I get
watch them.
nauseous when I watch 3D.
Is it with the glasses or?
He just can't. He can't stand. I mean, if you take the glasses off, it just looks weird.
Well, I mean, like, has he tried any of the non-glasses 3D?
Yeah, but what's the point of paying the extra money to see a 3D movie if you're not going to see it in 3D?
No. I mean, like the DS 3D.
Oh,
Like, you don't
yeah.
need
The
glasses.
3DS.
He
3DS,
has the DS 3D. He usually ends up turning the 3D off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it bothers him. So yeah.
If I could give you any advice, I'd say you should turn that friendship off.
Yeah, turn the friendship off.
Well, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more. Coming up here at the end of October and the beginning of November, we're going to have Becky Svensson standing in for Keith while he's getting ready for and spending time with his newborn son. So I had a chance here to sit down with Becky and just kind of learn a little bit more about her. Welcome, Becky.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about what makes you you.
Well, I'm originally from the Poconos, kind of the middle of nowhere, but moved to Lancaster 3 or 4 years ago, working with an organization called Hope International. We do microfinance in about 15 other countries, giving small business loans to the working poor. So I work with them as a grant writer, and that was what brought me to Lancaster. And while I'm here, I also like to make pottery at Kevin Lehman's Pottery on South Prince Street and take pictures, things like that.
Well, if there was one funny thing that you could tell us about yourself, what would that be?
Well, maybe one story that reveals my flair for the dramatic is from high school. I played tennis for 3 years in high school and was on a doubles team. And just to make it interesting, sometimes I would pretend to be a Russian exchange student. I'm about a head and shoulders taller than all the other girls on my team, and I convinced my coach to introduce me as Nastasha. And I just really wouldn't talk very much. I would say da, I would say niet. And I think I was just really intimidating. So the girls were afraid of me, and we won.
Well, we're really looking forward to the time that you'll be spending with us. So we hope everybody will tune in the middle of October to the middle of November.
Thanks, it'll be fun.
So apparently there's a study in Canada that says if you're too lazy to work out, it's not just you, it's also your genes.
Like your Levi's?
Yes, because they're too damn tight. No.
Working out in Levi's.
No, genetic genes.
Huh, that's interesting. I mean, it seems like lazy people will just come up with anything to blame.
Yeah, throw your problems on something else.
can't work out.
You want to wonder, I mean, the doctors may not have been lazy people. I mean, they got up the energy to do a study on lazy people. So.
I don't think it's your genes. I think it's how you were raised.
How would you like to be in that study?
Your habitat.
You're kind of lazy. Would you mind being part of a study?
It's offensive, but you're paying. Yeah, I agree. It probably has something to do with your upbringing. I mean, I know that to a point, with some people, it has to do with physical attributes or whatever, but still, I mean, I don't know. To say that it's part of your genes, that you would have wound up that way no matter what, I don't know. Raise that person on an island with nothing.
Well,
No.
yeah, I know. You got to ask, like, why is this all of a sudden a genetic problem now?
Now.
Like, I mean, okay, it might be a genetic problem, and that might be the case, but probably like, 0.01% of all the people that are lazy and don't ever work out, are because of genetics, and the rest of the people are just because they're lazy and they don't work out. Or I don't see because the trend today. There's so many more people that have problem with that than what 50 years ago.
And this goes back to the being able to use your food stamps at Taco Bell. If we really want to bring it back. But I mean, look at it. It has to do with the access to all of these things. Because you think, all right, there was overweight people, like when you go back, but it was a lot more difficult to be overweight in the past because of just the lifestyle that you had to live, and money, and just the fact that some of this fatty stuff wasn't around, or it was too expensive or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But seriously, that everything is so at our fingertips that you can't say that everyone is, people are lazy because of their genes when they have all these options to be lazy.
Right.
Yeah, it's our economy.
I think it's our economy, and especially in America too, because I think it's definitely more of an issue here than in just about any other country. And they talk about what's the joke they talk about. There's people in Italy, they drink a lot of red wine, and they have fewer heart attacks, and then people in China drink no red wine and eat all vegetables, and they have fewer heart attacks. And people in Africa drink, like the whatever tribes, I forget what tribe it's called, but they drink blood, and they eat raw meat and all this stuff, and they are healthier and live longer, have fewer heart attacks, and then the Americans do all those things all across the country, but we still have more heart attacks and we still die, sooner. So it seems like it's something, probably I attribute it to the heavy processing that goes into our food. Like, there's a lot of extra stuff added to our food that we just consume every day that are not natural things.
I think it's a mix of the time we have and how bad our economy is. We don't have enough time to actually make healthy meals,
right.
And we're always on the go, so we pick the cheapest and quickest things and
McDonald's.
die.
Taco Bell,
Taco Bell, yeah. Well, it's very much a cultural thing. I've seen studies, or read studies, I haven't actually seen them done. I've read studies where they've said stuff like, that obesity is a problem when the economy is bad, and obesity is a problem when the economy is really good. But when things are just kind of in the middle and just right, that's when you have the most fit people, because they're working just enough that they're, working to get what they have, and then they've got enough time to make the healthier choices, enough money to make the healthier choices. Whereas when the economy is really bad, people don't have enough money to buy the healthier foods. And so they buy a lot of junk, and they don't have money to go do anything with their time, so they don't do anything. And then vice versa, when everyone's economy is really good because everyone's working a lot, then, they're in a very high activity level where they're eating on the go again. They don't have time to cook the higher foods, or they don't have to, they've got enough money they can treat themselves to the junkier food or whatever. So. I don't know. I mean, you were saying like Italy with the red wine, or China with the whatever, the eating babies or whatever.
Eating babies. Wow.
I don't mean that. No, but I mean, like, look at these different cultures. I mean, there's so many things like in Europe alone, with it taking several breaks a day, like where like the business is just shut down at a certain time every day for just the midday break. And everyone is forced to slow down, and they eat smaller, meals more often so that their metabolism is up higher and stuff. It's just a big cultural change.
I think a lot of them walk more in there.
Why do you have to come down on Quin like that? You don't think she walks enough?
I walk a lot.
She walks everywhere, man.
I do.
She does.
But no, like I had friends that were from Finland, and they said here in America everybody drives everywhere. Like even they're going like just 2 blocks away, they get in their car and they drive and they park there and everything. And he was just saying over in Europe and over there, like nobody drives. Most of the people don't even have a car. Like they ride the mass transit, or they walk to work, or ride their bikes to work. Yeah. And that's got to count for something, because I tried my best every time we went out jogging together to beat him in the run, and he just every time when I thought, oh, I got him, and I'm just pushing with everything, he's just kind of like, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and run. You know, and
I'm going to try now.
just take off, and I'm just like, you know.
Well, in an effort to help you, you're walking home.
It's raining.
I think the most foot accessible city, mass transit and stuff that's used is Seattle. A lot of people bike over there. No one drives.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like,
I think the whole West Coast is we're all kind of hipsters, though.
Well, I hear Colorado.
I guess I should go there.
Maybe you should move
That's
there.
why I know that.
But everybody's there now and going there, so now you have to stay on the East
Maybe
Coast.
I'll go to Oklahoma.
You want to move to Oklahoma?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Oh. Well,
It's really dusty there.
that was boring.
Yeah.
Now you're all against it. You're like, I want to move to Oklahoma. That place is horrible. It's dusty.
It's terrible. I don't want to go
I hate
there.
Oklahoma.
I was joking.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? Seriously. Well, actually, I was going to say Colorado is really known for like having a big bike environment. They're really supportive of having bikers around.
Like Harley Davidson, like, gosh, big beard.
Yeah, like Hells Angels.
Oh.
And yeah, no, I had a friend who went out there and that was one of the things she was super excited about was the biking culture because she loves to bike everywhere. So.
It's cool. I was out there. Now, you couldn't bike anywhere where I was in Colorado because, like, the nearest town was like 45-minute drive.
Was it dusty there?
No, it was cold.
It was cold.
So I was there in the wintertime, so it was very, very cold. 2 feet of snow.
Do you not like cold, Quin? Do you have a problem with Colorado too?
No.
Okay.
I'm kind of afraid of Colorado.
Afraid?
Yeah.
Why are you afraid of Colorado?
Because of The Shining.
Oh.
That's where that hotel is.
It
Where
is.
was
It ruined the whole state for you.
Ruined the whole state.
It did.
The whole state's like that. They're all psychos with axes.
It's like we've got like haunted mills, haunted fields, like really close by, and you're like, no, they based a movie off of this hotel in that state, and it's no, the whole state's up.
No, thank you. So it's more
So
like-
I would like to go to Boulder. I liked Boulder, Colorado a lot.
I've never been out west.
It's very
Really?
artsy.
At all?
Never. I've been to Texas.
It's kind of out
It's
west.
kind of
It's
out
like
west.
southwest.
Southwest.
It's west of us. 21-hour drive from here to Dallas, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. If you
Takes longer to get
We
to,
did drive when
to
I went.
Florida.
It took us 26 hours. But we went to San Antonio.
You probably stopped, though, see. I
No.
only stopped for gas, and that was it.
We stopped for food a few times.
Oh, see? Yeah, she...
It was right before that swine flu epidemic.
Week. So.
I have some cool gaming news.
Yeah, why don't you talk about
What's the gaming news?
Blizzard announced today that they're going to have songs from Diablo and Warcraft on iTunes. I'm really hype about that.
What does that mean?
You can download in-game music
Oh, okay.
on iTunes now.
Okay, I thought that when you said songs of Diablo, I thought that was the name of an expansion pack or something.
Now they have downloadable content on iTunes.
That's cool.
I'm going to hit that up and get on my WoW music and go axe some people.
You heard it here. The cops are looking for the Lancaster axe murderer.
Yes. Here she is.
Here she is.
We'll turn her in.
Quin
Quin
Baker.
we won't turn you in. I swear. Put down that axe.
Well, I think that's about wraps us up for this impromptu episode of just kind of current events and talking. It's always nice when we get a chance to do this. It's usually when a guest isn't able to make it or some sort of last minute thing happens and just find ourselves with the need for an episode and some time on our hands.
Quin, thanks for giving us a little bit of voice to go with those pictures that you always take for us
Steve,
every week.
Thank you.
Definitely appreciate it on the team. So
Awesome.
We hope you've been enjoying the Lancast.
this episode was produced by myself, David Moulton, with show notes by Keith and Lawrence Lesser.
All pertinent links to this episode can be found in the show notes at thelancast.com.
If you specifically liked this episode, we ask that you consider making a donation.
Every little bit helps. Even $1 a show can keep us going.
If you'd like to help support us, you can do so by going to thelancast.com/donate.
And don't forget to subscribe in iTunes and tell a friend about the show.
So, for the Lancast, I'm David Moulton,
And I'm Keith Slesser.
asking, are you in the cast?